Francois Podcast.
Yo, what's going on, man? What's happening, y'all? Beautiful people, what's going on?
It's so dead right now. You're so dead right now, but I understand why. We'll get into it.
You ain't looking at the people.
And, well, the people are looking at us.
Yeah, look at them back.
Welcome, you guys, on our live edition of episode 11. Welcome back to the people who will be listening, who are going to be listening. We welcome you. And if you don't know who we are Sebastien and Claushelle.
Yeah, and, follow us, Francois Podcast on IG. Shout out to everybody watching us on the live. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We on Anchor, Audio Mac, Apple Podcasts. We on Google Podcasts too, I think.
Yes, we are on Google Podcasts.
We on all of that. So whatever's your preferred streaming platform, check us out. Check out all of our 10 episodes so far. We on episode 11. We doing a special live edition for y'all.
Yes, and you will also see visual on, did you say that already, YouTube?
Yeah, well, no, you can say that. I ain't
okay, we'll be on YouTube. If you didn't catch us, you will see an actual video and on visual on YouTube.
Word.
You'll see all the behind the scenes and what's going down and how we get prepared for this episode.
Yeah.
Your tour. How did it feel going on tour?
It felt great. I loved it. I was it was a great experience just to be, one, it's a city I never performed at before. How
was the response?
Response was great. It was a great, I had no idea that, I didn't know anything about the Boston rap scene. I don't know, I can't even think to myself, who's a predominant, who's the rapper out there?
They don't have a local rap?
The only rap I know from Boston is Benzino, and he's garbage. So I can't think of
Yo, you're so annoying.
No, I'm just saying.
You're not.
No, but for real,
okay.
That's the only rapper I know from Boston, and he's not that or
okay.
But there's one dope battle rapper from Boston named Chilla Jones. I forgot about that. But other than that, I don't really know how the scene was, but when they pulled up, a lot of the rappers that was on the bill, when they pulled up, they showed up with good vibes and just ready to just have a good time. It was, you know what I'm saying? We when we got there, me and my boy Ish, we got on stage and we just started battling. Mm-hmm. We just started doing this little freestyle battle and all that. And they just walked into that, so they were just kind of there just watching, what these guys doing and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And I think that kind of got them to be more comfortable with us, oh man. And then they just started a cipher and all that stuff. And anyway, it was a good vibe. It was a good city, good time. Got some good food out there. It was just a dope all around experience. I look forward to the rest of the tour. We hitting Philly next on February 8th. So that's gonna be a good time. So I'm gonna be checking out my sister and my bro-in-law. I'm gonna see y'all.
Are you guys coming out to that?
They coming.
Oh yeah, they are.
Well, my sister said she coming. So
nice.
Yeah, they're gonna pull up.
If you guys want to know more about his tour, go to his page at Cape Proetic. He has all that information along with his actual group page. What's your alias for your group?
What's my alias for my group?
Yeah.
What's my station name?
No, the Instagram page.
Oh, the IG handle.
Yeah.
Oh, you said alias, another name. Follow Real Music.
Okay.
At Follow Real Music.
At Follow Real Music. So look forward to seeing you. I'm going to be catching the Newark date. So if you guys want to come out and support locally, there is a Newark date.
She wasn't trying to travel.
I'm
trying to get her to come to South by. She don't want to come.
What you mean? I could travel.
But you ain't trying to do it.
I'm not trying to travel with you. I'm just saying I just feel as though, you're going to be with a group of people and I'm not the traveling wife. Am I a manager? Am I getting a check for this? I don't.
You wasn't talking.
I don't feel like
you wasn't talking.
This is something that I need to
before.
do.
You wasn't talking none of that stuff.
Go ahead and go perform, bring home net, money, and then we good.
You didn't say none of that before.
I will support you in one of the dates. Why do I have to travel?
Why? What's this?
Am I part of the team?
What's this new energy? Of course you're part of the team.
What new energy? That's how I felt this whole time.
Nah, you was on some yo, I could come. Oh, you was he said there's no wives allowed, all that stuff. You was all sad.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
You definitely said
that.
No,
I didn't.
We was out in the car when you said that, remember?
No. I didn't say that. I was saying I don't know. I just felt like it was like a group of guys and
No, well, I'm not talking about
like.
well, I'm not
I
saying
didn't
like
mean it that way.
I don't mean like come out to like I don't expect you to like come out to all the joints. I'm talking like at least South by. We can make a time out of that. Like that'll be a good time.
We can make a time out of South by.
Yeah, I mean I'll be down there for a couple of days.
See.
It's a it's a festival. We've been to a festival before.
We'll decide.
I mean it's up to you, but
I'll decide. I will see how this goes. I'll see how this goes. Let me just write in the chat room for our YouTubers what we're discussing. Hey, YouTubers, thanks for joining. If you want to chat with us, feel free to click that chat section.
Okay.
What do we call it?
Just comment in the chat section.
Yeah. So we'll just say.
She don't know.
Okay, so we can talk about that too. I'm not social media savvy like this one here.
Why not? You're young. Like, what's your excuse?
That doesn't mean anything. Like, I know how to use it and stuff like that, but I'm not the person to, you're into the media thing. I'm not.
I gotta be.
That's because you can't judge me off of it.
No, what I'm saying is like you're on social media all the time, but yeah.
Yes.
So what's your excuse? Like you should know how things work.
Okay.
Like
so
you're not the person that's just not on it.
In journal media, you guys know the titles.
Media. Go ahead, my bad.
Go ahead, say the title.
Nah, go ahead.
Say the title.
I don't know the title. Go ahead.
You know what the title is.
Finish talking about it.
In media journalism.
Okay.
You know is that the right term?
Yeah.
Okay. You know exactly what you need to write in terms of clickbait and what to say in terms of marketing and all of that stuff. I don't know any of that.
I ain't saying nothing about clickbait and marketing. I'm talking about regular social media, run-of-the-mill stuff you just don't be knowing how to do. But you be on social media all the time. I'm like...
Anywho. So join our YouTube. We have our YouTube page, the Francois Podcast. The Francois Podcast. You will see our logo. Join the YouTube live and go ahead and chat with us. Send all your commentary. Send all your thoughts. Hey, Fabi! What's up?
What's good, Fabi?
What's good? Look, she's getting a shout out as we're recording. All right. So we could also talk about the award show. The Grammys was on yesterday. He slept through most of it. I caught all of it. I
don't watch award shows like that no more.
And I talked about that yesterday. I haven't watched an award show since 2013. I had to really think about it. I haven't watched, and I still haven't because I didn't watch it in its entirety. But since 2013, I haven't watched a full-length award show. You guys let us know if you even watch award shows anymore. Because when I was watching it, I just caught so many this is boring. I'm not feeling it. He fell asleep. He didn't watch anything. I had to wake him up for certain performances.
She woke me up because I wanted to see Run DMC. Mm-hmm. Because I had no idea Run DMC was performing.
Okay.
So she woke me up from Run DMC, so I was catching that.
That was pretty wild, too. I wasn't really feeling that performance.
Well, Rev Run don't really move the way he used to move. But DMC looked like he still got all the energy. It's kind of crazy.
Okay.
Well, but now, so they performed, which was dope.
Okay.
And
you saw a surprise from your favorite rapper.
Yeah, Nas performed with Lil Nas X. That was
performed.
crazy. They got a track together. I think it's called Rodeo. And
what?
They got a track called. I think that's what they performed. A track called Rodeo. That's a song that they got.
Okay.
Yeah. Which was dope. I mean, clearly Lil Nas X, Nas, the name comparison and all that, But I didn't think they'd actually do a record together. I didn't see that in a million years. I'm gonna be real with you. But I thought that was alright. You know what I'm saying? Whatever Nas do, I'll be tuned in, you know.
And you also saw the Nipsey performance.
That was what I really wanted to see. I wanted to see how they were gonna do.
How'd you guys like the Nipsey performance? If you hadn't seen the show, I'm sure you saw a clip. If you hadn't seen a clip, go ahead and watch the clip and let us know how you felt about that performance. What'd you feel about it?
No, it was dope. I couldn't help but compare it to how BET did it. Mm-hmm. The only thing that BET did that was better was BET did more songs. Mm-hmm. I think and the Grammys kind of just focused on the Higher song, mm-hmm. which is fine because I love that song. That song, the minute that song came out, like when Spotify does their little end of the year thing, that was my most listened to song of last year. And that song came out in May. I ran it. I listened to that song just today. And like I was just really happy that Nip won Grammys last night. He won a Grammy for Racks in the Middle. Shout out to Roddy Ricch and all them. And he won for what's the name? And he won for Higher. I really wanted him to win for Higher because that was just
songs.
yeah. I mean, well, it's just a great song. Like it's just a great song. Like with the John Legend and it has the whole like gospel feel. I love that song. So I'm so glad that he at least got those Grammys. Like I just wish he could have got him in his lifetime. You know what I'm saying? If they'd have, no offense, but if he'd have won over Cardi last year, well, I was like, yeah, last year he'd have got it in his lifetime. And no hate, no shade, but Victory Lap was better than Cardi's joint. We just gonna keep it real. But aside from all that,
that's not what the critics have to say. So that's not what they have to say. So that means that basically,
yeah, but the critics, like the Grammys, don't give awards based on critical acclaim anyway. Like they're kind of weird. Like they go back and forth with that. Like it's like it's like some went off commercial success and then some went off of like being like critical success. It's kind of weird. Like come on, man. Macklemore still won over Kendrick. You want to look at the I read album reviews. Look at the reviews for Kendrick's album. What was it? Good Kid, Mad City, and look at the reviews for Macklemore. They weren't even close, but he won.
Yeah.
But he just had the bigger.
But that's
album
why a lot of people say that it's rigged or it's political or.
Of course it is.
Everybody
knows. Yeah,
it's
I know
not
that.
real. It's not real in terms of. I mean, like the people do vote and stuff like that, but there's a lot of politics behind it. Well, that's with anything. So. I don't know who got snubbed last night. I don't remember a lot of the wins. I actually wasn't paying attention to the wins and the real wins that I really was looking forward to. I didn't get to catch because I fell asleep. So it was pretty cool. The performances were cool. I don't remember a lot of performances except for the rap segues. It was pretty cool. But we're not here to go through that. Let's talk about our real topic. We're really going to be touching on vulnerability. So I wrote down a couple of things about vulnerability. We actually talked about this topic with a listener, and we were like, do you have any ideas? And we always ask for ideas, so keep sending them. And one of the topics was being vulnerable. And that was deep because I'm not vulnerable. Monsieur Francois is. Usually it's the other way around. We're just those type of people, and that's how we have been from Jump Street. So vulnerability. Is vulnerability a weakness?
No.
Have you ever felt
felt weak because you were vulnerable?
Yeah.
Yeah, because initially you'll think that you're being weak because you feel like, and you think that you're strong if you don't feel. You know what I'm saying? But it's the other way around. Like if you're a stronger person if you know how to deal with your feelings, or if you just put them out there. That takes more. That's strength right there.
To be vulnerable is strengthening.
Well, when we discuss vulnerability, like we're talking about like
being exposed with your feelings, being exposed
putting your feelings out there. Think about it. The people that don't put their feelings out there, why not?
Because
that's fear.
Yeah.
To conquer fear, you gotta be strong.
Though. Yeah, but okay, it's a lot of factors because I'm just gonna start from Jump Street. I was never in the family and the culture that I grew up in. We were never really vulnerable. We were never really taught to be expressive. My parents never showed me that it was okay to cry or it was okay to be emotionally expressive. That's never been the case, So I just never grew up that way. It was just like my dad is still closed off. My mom, she's more emotional and expressive now, but that's just how I grew up. So if you tell me 10 years ago that you're gonna be strong if you show vulnerability, I'd look at you like, no, that's weak. You know, it's only until my adult years where I realize, yeah, you can be strong because you actually, you know, having the courage to express yourself, to be emotionally invested, to be emotional, to show your emotions.
That's true.
But it's not, to be vulnerable as human. Somebody wrote that just now. It is humanizing. It's like it's realism. It's like this. We're exposing our true feelings and emotions and the topic, diving deep into it while people are watching us. But it's it's I don't know. As an adult, I'm just gonna keep it real with you. I think I've gotten to the point. I've surpassed the point where I still cannot be vulnerable. It cannot be tapped into, and it only is tapped into with certain people.
Okay. I mean, like, I'm not vulnerable with everybody. Like, I'm not the type of
But you can
person.
still be real. You can still be upset. You can still be mad. You can still be like, of course you're not gonna be like crying and like sad or whatever with everybody, but you can still show emotion.
So you telling me that you don't show emotion with
I don't
nobody?
really show that much emotion. I'm very cool, calm, cool, collected.
I mean, well, so am I. I'm very, very calm, cool, and collected. I'm always keep my emotions in check. The only people that see that side of me are the people that's really close to me. Like, if I feel a kind of way at work, I'm not gonna give them that. Whether I'm angry or sad, like I don't. You're not gonna get that from me. I've always been the type to been like, yo, what's wrong with you? And I can have the most tumultuous day,
But I
and
never
I'll
did
be
that with
like,
you either.
what,
Being
like,
vulnerable.
yeah. I mean, well,
And
yeah,
it
because
was like years upon years.
no, yeah. I mean, well, clearly you're different than me in that case. I mean, I think we're both kind of the same on how we deal with outside people, but we're not the same in regards to how we deal with each other. Like, because I'm not gonna be vulnerable with them. I'm not gonna give them none of that, but I'll give all of that to you because we're tight. But you're not giving that to them, and you wasn't giving that to me either. You know what I'm saying? That was the disconnect early on. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that was. I mean, and to this day, like, I mean, I'm still that. I mean, I embrace it. Like, I'm gonna be the type of person that's gonna say how I feel. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? No matter what the emotion is, I'm gonna show it to you because like we married, and that's how that
But
has to go.
do you realize how it took me 6 or 7 years? 6 or 7 years for me to really go there with you.
7 years.
Yeah. To really go there
Damn,
with
it
you.
happens. That's wild.
Yeah. It took me 7 years,
What
and
you
this
waiting
is
for,
real.
man?
I don't know what I was waiting for. It took me 7 years to really be open with this man. You were still my boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
To be open with this man and be vulnerable and put it all out there. And if it wasn't for his patience and his persistence, I probably wouldn't be married to you, to be honest. And I think that, why are you looking at me like that?
Like what?
I don't know. I'm getting the vibe. Like,
What vibe you
I
getting?
don't know. I mean, I'm happy that I am now, but I don't know. I think that vulnerability, it depends on your upbringing. It depends on what you faced in life. It depends on just personality. I do feel like it's not weakness anymore, but I feel like it was seen as weakness before. And I feel like nowadays our society and our generation makes it okay for us to be vulnerable. And I think that what makes it hard to be vulnerable is judgment, is fear, is it's like you're exposed, and it's hard to be open with people, especially if people are very critical. We live in a world today where in society, social media criticizes every single thing. People who watch you, people who know you, people who don't know you will put you in a place where you can feel bad about yourself. You can feel bad about what you say. You know, posting a photo, you could be criticized about that. It's like it puts you in a place where it, I don't know. It depends on what the type of person you are. If you're a strong person to take it, and if you're not a strong person, then you end up hurting yourself, or you end up being like, I shouldn't be that way. I'm just gonna close off to everybody.
I mean, yeah. Well, I don't know. You just gotta be strong. Like even though I'm more vulnerable than you, like when it comes to like dealing, if we want to bring social media into this, like that's something I could. That's where I'm not really vulnerable. I could care less about that. You know what I'm saying? Because I think the only people that have the ability to like hurt me are the people closest to me. Mm-hmm. So if you're, on a computer or whatever, you're not gonna say anything that's gonna really get to my heart like that.
But people
you
can
could do that.
Can do that. Can say that to you.
Yeah,
so you won't feel any type of way.
No, I mean like it'll be more.
I have an example.
What's up?
I remember that you listed, was it a rap or a link to your rap or something, and then somebody you didn't know criticized it. Do you remember? You do remember. I feel like there's a smirk, and you do remember. Yeah, and it affected you a little bit.
No. Okay, this is what happened.
Okay.
I put out my first project, Middle Ground, years ago, 2015 or something. And I got a lot of good responses on it. Mm-hmm. And this one kid on Twitter put like, yeah, it was pretty good. You just got to work on your lyrics more. And I was kind of like...
It affected you.
Well, I mean, my stance was like, what do you know? Yeah.
What if they weren't an expert? What if they listened to the type of music you do?
I mean, well, because my thing was...
What do you know? That's a fan or somebody who listens. That's a supporter.
But my thing is this, though. Like, I don't know. Me, if I'm giving... Like, if I'm going to criticize anything, I'm going to make sure the criticism is more constructive. Like, yeah. I'm going to be like, yo, the lyrics need to be better because of what? And not to be... So
you felt like you needed a reason.
Well, tell me, ain't you gonna tell me why you don't like? Aren't you gonna tell me why something need work or whatever? If you, I don't know this kid from. No, I never did actually. I never.
You didn't care because I felt like you felt slighted.
This was on Twitter. I'm not on Twitter like that.
Okay,
like,
but you still felt slighted with that comment.
No, I was kind of not slighted, but I felt a little confused only because I was like, yo, lyrically, the album was fire. Like you're not gonna like if you're gonna go off of bars. Like I was rapping my heart out on that whole. I was like, what was like whack lyrically, like. Mm-hmm. But you know what? I didn't. But I should have dived deeper into it. I'm not gonna lie. I dismissed it because I was just like, because I just didn't agree. I was like, yeah, whatever, bro. I don't know what you're talking about.
It is what it is.
But I should have dived deeper into it.
Can we be real? You didn't agree, and
what are you talking about?
Did it make you feel some type of way?
Not really, because I didn't think about it again. I was kind of like, what's he?
Answer the question.
I was like, man, what's he know?
If you felt like
I just tossed it to the
I didn't
side.
agree, what does he know? What does she know?
I never revisited it, but I should have. In hindsight, I should have went and said, yo, like,
what do you mean by that? Because when I get feedback and I feel like, okay, I think this is something constructive, or I think this is something I don't agree with. What do you mean by that? Why do you say that? Why do you feel this way?
Right.
But I feel like if I'm just shooing the person away, it's just like I don't want to feel attacked. I don't want to feel vulnerable. That's how I feel.
Oh well, I'm not. I think mine was coming from more of a cocky standpoint. I was like, oh, he thought it was whack ass nigga. Don't know nothing. Like that's how I saw it, and I was just like,
okay.
That's how that came from. But I mean, so I'm about to put out an album in. Well, I'll get the date later. But I'm working on an album now.
Very soon.
And yeah, very soon.
Very soon.
So when I put that out, I'll welcome any.
Excuse me, I'm just gonna check.
What? Check
our
what?
Instagrams.
Okay.
Make sure people know what they're doing. All right, go ahead, talk.
All right, but you could. Well, never mind. Anyway, so yeah, when I put that project out, like I'll welcome any kind of criticism to that. Mm-hmm. So if I get that same comment again from whoever, like I'll definitely follow up and ask, like, all right, so what did you think was lackluster? What did you think was whack, if that's the case? What did you think was, you know what I'm saying? Let me know.
You would have asked.
Yeah, now I will. Mm-hmm. Now I will. So like, I don't know. That's how I said. I was coming from more of a cocky rapper type thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? That came from that. It wasn't really like a vulnerable thing. Like,
it didn't bother you.
Nah, I mean like, I don't know. One of my mans broke down my album too, I'm in IT, but it was more. I guess I can't really incorporate that because it was more positive feedback. Like he broke down my album like track from track, and he gave me like a positive review saying, "Yo, this was actually all in all, I like what you did here. This was dope." Blah, blah,
But
blah.
then he gave you a deeper.
Yeah, but it was a deeper.
But
He
was a
gave
critic
me.
or?
No, I mean, well, he could have been if he ain't like it, but he just it was a positive review. But he actually broke it down. Like the dude on Twitter, he ain't break nothing down. He just threw that out there, and I was kind of like, man. I was just like, man, whatever.
You
like,
didn't care.
I just dismissed it.
Okay.
I haven't thought about it from then till now. Like, so I haven't thought about it in over 4 years. But.
Let's bring it to relationships, and we talk about this. How did you feel when I wasn't being vulnerable with you?
I just felt like you wasn't. I just felt like we wasn't as close as we should be.
Even after the many years that we've been together.
Yeah, well, I didn't like it. I was like, yo, like, what's like? Well, I felt like, all right, this is clearly a one-sided thing. I might need to rethink this whole thing. That's what I thought.
You rethought the relationship. You rethought. Did you rethink the relationship, or did you rethink the process of how we were working with one another?
Nah, well, I rethought the relationship at that point.
I wasn't being as vulnerable.
Well, I just thought to myself, like, yo, is this how she's just gonna be?
Yeah.
Like, she's been this way for this long.
Yeah.
Even though I know that people could change, and even though I know that I like to think long term. So if I, in the grand scheme of things, if we do work out, 6 years is not compared to the 50, 60 I plan on having with her.
Yeah.
But at the time, I was I was getting frustrated.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know what's really good. Maybe she's just gonna be like this. Maybe I gotta like
figure it out.
Maybe I gotta figure this out some other kind of way. I don't know. Maybe I should be more closed off, or maybe we should part ways.
You should have
maybe
your heart on your sleeves and be so sensitive.
Yeah, I mean, well, was my heart really on my sleeve like that?
Yeah, you were very sensitive.
But
you see how you say that I'm on top of you, all over you and stuff like that? You were always like that with me. Like, you know how you said in one of the last episodes that I just need to breathe? You were always like that with me.
But I'll let you breathe, though. I'll let you breathe. So I don't know why you're making that face. I did let you breathe.
No, you didn't.
We didn't see each other all the time.
I mean, we didn't see each other all the time, but you were definitely somebody who kind of just was like all in my space. All in my emotional space. Mm-hmm.
I mean, well, okay, but that space I was trying to be in because of what I thought we was trying to build. I thought we needed to be that for us to work.
Well, I wasn't there yet, so I felt like, I need to breathe. So I guess the difference between you and I is, maybe I'm just doing a lot more than you expected versus you just doing too much.
I guess.
So rule number 1. Be vulnerable in your relationships. When is it right, or when is it time to be fully vulnerable with your mate?
It's kind of a hard question. Because, I don't know. When is the time to be good? I mean, honestly, I don't know. The minute you get to a point where you can really, like, trust the person you're with. Mm-hmm. Because it's scary. You got that person, like, trusting somebody with, like, your heart and your feelings and all that.
So what's a good time limit? As soon as
you say time, you can't put a time on that.
Boyfriend, girlfriend, when do you need to be vulnerable? Right as you say boyfriend and girlfriend?
Let's we scale it down to just being like honest. Like if you like just be honest with your feelings, straight up. Let who you dating just know how you feel, how you feel about them, and like just be real. From day one, I was just honest with how I felt about you. I just kept it real. Yeah. Like, yo, this is how I feel, and where we go from here. You know
what would have been a good? I mean, I wasn't dishonest with you.
No, I didn't say you was dishonest.
Oh, okay. What would have made you feel a lot better to be prepared for the length of time that it took for me to finally open up with you?
That's a good question. I don't know. Honestly, what would have made me feel better was just you being where I was at.
Being on the same page.
Yeah, but I knew that there was more on my end in regards to the feelings than yours. But I was willing to wait it out. I was willing to wait that out. I was cool with that.
Okay.
But I just didn't know how long I was gonna have to wait it out. But the first year, I'm like, okay. Second year, I'm like, okay. Third year, I'm like, okay. Fourth year, I'm like, all right. fifth year, I was like, all right, we gotta.
He's gonna break
We
up
hit
with
it.
me.
Now I'm just like, yo, maybe this ain't.
This
Yo,
is
you
not
gotta get to a
happening
point.
the way I wanted
You gotta.
to.
Everybody learns. Like, first of all, not everybody's. She got a home run with me. Not to put myself. Not to
Okay.
toot my own horn.
All right, you might as well. I mean, you are a great man.
But thank you. But what I'm saying is, not everybody is married to the person they first started dating. If that was the case for me, we wouldn't be married. If that was the case that's not the case with everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I got to the point where I thought to myself, I was like, yo, maybe this is not for her.
You don't feel like I was okay? I was a person to be in a relationship?
I just don't think the relationship thing was for you, or maybe it's not for you at this time. Mm-hmm. That's what I thought. And I was, even though at the time it kind of hurt, I was just like, damn, yo, I really like this girl. I want to be with her, all that stuff. But I'm like, yo, maybe this ain't the time. Maybe this ain't it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So maybe I gotta, I gotta rethink this whole thing. So I was getting comfortable with that at the same time, but I didn't like it either. But that's where my mind was at the time when it came to that. I was like, all right, yo, if it's not meant to be.
I think I was just afraid to be hurt, be open. I was afraid to. Mm-hmm. I was afraid to let my guard down. I was afraid to let my wall down. I didn't have great examples of great relationships, great marriages. Even if I did see one, I just was so not bombarded. I had a view of a lot of negativity growing up as a child. So I just felt like it was already negative before we even stepped into a relationship. Not us being negative, but I was expecting negative. I was expecting something bad to happen. So I was not willing to let my guard down, be open with you, let love live, because that's just what, I don't know, I was just so used to not being there emotionally. Because again, that's how I grew up. You might have grown up differently. You want to talk about how you grew up and how, or is this just a personality thing?
Nah, well, I mean, I definitely grew up differently. I mean, I had, 2-parent household with two parents that loved each other unconditionally and loved us as kids unconditionally. So I knew that my parents didn't teach me how to love or
but what you
how
saw.
to be. But I saw that. But just knowing how my father was.
Yeah.
I knew that. Okay, well, this is how you treat women. My mother appears to be very happy.
Yeah.
So all right, let me kind of follow his format.
Yeah.
And see where that gets me.
Yeah.
Had some, didn't work out. The first time or second time. You know what I'm saying that. You know what I'm saying it takes a. I always thought that if I'll just be a good person, be a good man, then I'm good. Like I'll be able to
You'll be a great.
Any woman will be. Shape. Yeah, I'll be like I'll be a catch.
Yeah.
Not the case at all. It was not a catch. That came later. You feel me?
What do you mean?
I mean, that ain't the whole good guy thing I was trying to pull when I was like 17, 18. That wasn't working. That wasn't attracting the women at my age at that time. I didn't care about that. Like, that worked out for me later. Like, you feel me?
What do you mean? I don't understand.
Well, there's more to this relationship thing than just being a good person or a good guy. You got to be the one for that person. I mean, yeah, you could be good and treat somebody well, but if there's other things that have to sync up for someone to be like, oh man, I'm really into this person. Like, just because I'm a good guy, I don't mean you're just gonna be into me. And that was the case with other women. It was the case with you too.
Yeah.
You just decided to hang in there a little bit. Like,
you felt like I didn't think that it would work out because you're a good guy?
No, I'm saying that even with you, like, you weren't like, yo, I mean, like, you, what am I trying to say? Like, that didn't.
You feel like I wasn't looking at you like that?
No, I'm saying, like, that didn't snatch you.
It didn't pull me towards you. It didn't.
Yeah, it didn't make you.
But that wasn't because you were a nice guy. Actually, because you were a nice guy, I was like, all right, let's do this.
No, I said, yeah, you decided to stick around. Like, you hung around longest. But I'm saying, but me being who I was didn't just make you be like, oh, you know what? vulnerable now. I'm giving all my feelings out, all this stuff. Nah, we still have to work out a couple of things. And by the way, I'm not gonna act like I was perfect. I still have to work out some things by damn self. I was still young.
You were not perfect.
And so like I still have to work out stuff on my own, the stuff I was doing wrong. I just knew, like I knew how to be a good person, and not be disrespectful and not do all the BS. But there were still other things that were BS that I was doing that I had to change. You know what I'm saying? So
that didn't steer me away though. It was just like, I need you to get it together.
Yeah, that's how I felt. I was like, I need you to get it together.
You need me to get it together.
So we had to get it together to get here.
Together.
Yeah. We got to answer something, Fabby. Fabby been talking to us.
Isn't it a good thing at the beginning of the relationship to be into one another?
I mean, yeah. Of course.
You should be into one another. You should be, you should want to be into.
Oh, to the IG people, we're answering some of the questions on the YouTube stream.
And feel free to ask some questions here as well. So, yeah, you should be into one another at first. If you're not into one another, what's the point? What is the point, right? Of course.
No, yeah.
Well, it'll be a waste
Gotta
of time.
Gotta be something there. Something created that. Something created that spark. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Something created
that. Not after 5 years. Is that what she's saying? It's like, isn't it a good thing to be together at first versus after 5 years? I think a good gap, and this is what I asked you earlier, I think a good time frame to be vulnerable or to start being vulnerable is after a year.
But can we really put a time on it though?
I think it depends on the person, of course. But I also feel like that's when you need to start letting your guard down. The 6-month rule or the 3-month rule that a lot of people put on it is like, this is when you should do this. This is when you should do that. I think after a year, that's when you can start putting your wall down. Of course, it's going to be growing learns and opportunities to still learn each other, especially if you still don't live with each other. Oh, that's another thing we got to mention. We haven't lived with each other until we got married.
Yeah.
So that was a whole ball game of vulnerability. But by then, I was already comfortable.
That's true.
I was already like, okay, I'm ready to do this.
You know what's crazy? I don't know if it's because of...
I know what you're getting ready to say.
What am I saying?
I know what you're getting ready to say.
What am I saying?
I think you're getting ready to say that it was because you put the ring on it.
That's when I noticed everything started changing.
Door.
And that's when I noticed that everything started changing. The minute I decided to get a ring, and like then it's like, oh, now it's like, yo, is that what you was waiting for this whole time? Like,
maybe that's what crazy. I was waiting for. You never know.
Yeah, but that's wild because
I don't think so. I don't actually think so.
But that's when things started really changing.
I mean, we're getting ready to be one. I gotta now let it all hang out now.
So you didn't think it was gonna be one? I've been with saying it was gonna be one.
I mean, you never know. I gotta protect my feelings. I don't know.
Anyway.
I'm just saying.
I had to spend all this money before she had to open up to me. So basically, it came at a cost.
And thank you. You paid the cost, and you got what you wanted.
See, I had to pay thousands of dollars for feelings.
I mean, am I?
And I gave her, and I gave her,
ain't I worth it?
And I gave her my feelings for free. It's crazy, bro. Like it's crazy. Like
okay.
From the rip, I gave her my feelings.
All right.
I had to wait 5 years and spend thousands of dollars. 6 years and spend all this money. Just to get feelings, like you see, and then what can she really say to me? Like, you feel me? Like, what you gonna say to me after I did all that? Like,
what I can say to you is
respect my tenacity.
Yes, I do respect it. I actually admire it. I do not have patience. I have no patience whatsoever. So I do respect it. I do love that you've done that, and I'm never going to not ever highlight that. So that quality is amazing to me.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that.
You're welcome. And yes, thank you so much for being patient with me. That is what I needed. Some patience, some tolerance, and a little bit of an edge. Because you didn't let me live down being emotional. You definitely kept nudging me and getting into my nerves. But
I had to figure out a way to do that. I wasn't doing that the best way initially. I was
no, you were not.
I was kind of like I was kind of beating down her door.
So rule number
opposed to like
2.
ringing the doorbell, I had the battering ram like on some. You feel me? I was like the LAPD.
We should say that.
Like,
We should say that if your mate is not the vulnerable type, you have to learn their love language.
yeah, that book is
You
everything.
have to learn how to speak to them, how to
Facts.
get what you want. You have to make sure that when you are trying to get something out of them, it's thinking about how they will react to it or how they're going to receive it to give you what you want. So in my case, Monsieur Francois always didn't give me space. He didn't allow me to say what I needed to say. He didn't allow me to take the time I needed to properly absorb the situation, absorb the reality, and give him what he needed. He kept digging and digging and digging and digging and digging, which caused me to either be so backed into a corner where I was mean to him or backed into a place where I was just like shut down. And the shutdown would be worse. Because it would just be like, so she's not talking to me. I don't know what to do. I'm going to force her to talk to me. Either I'm going to force her to talk to me or I'm just going to give her a space and then wait for her to talk to me. Or if I don't give her space and wait for her to talk to me, I'm going to like criticize her.
Yeah, that's an
And then
accurate.
I hit it.
That's an accurate assessment.
Yeah. And he did all of the above. And nothing was working. And all I needed was, okay, I understand. I'll give you a space. And sometimes I would, tap in. And then sometimes I'd just be like, forget it. I moved on.
And that her move on ain't really moving on.
No, it's not.
That just means that I'm just not dealing with this right now. I'm gonna tuck this away. It's just like
and then
it's
when
just,
something like this comes up again,
when it's just sweeping everything under the rug.
Yeah.
But you ain't really throw it out. You ain't throw it out in the trash.
Yeah.
You still got a lumpy ass rug. You need to get that out. Throw it in the trash. She ain't do that. She ain't know how to do that. And
the rug was not that lumpy.
that rug, that looked like the Grand Canyon. Like it was nuts.
Somebody wrote, no, move on just like this. And somebody wrote, I agree with being vulnerable after a year.
Somebody, that's Noel.
You see,
What's up, Noel?
Noel, you see who someone is in every season. Oh, dag, every season, though.
Nah, my mother always said that.
Okay.
Well, she always said that before, like living with somebody, like knowing them every season, knowing how they get mad, figure out how they just react to certain things before you, sign on that dotted line. Like you gotta know them in every season, and stuff, which is always a good piece of advice I follow.
Let me address the no move on. Yes, I'm the move on queen. I will not dive deep. First of all, I don't like confrontation. I have to be honest about that. I don't like confrontation. I don't like speaking about my feelings. I don't like having fights. So pretty much I would just not confront Sebastien. If we had a confrontation, I'll just be like, forget it. I just won't, I don't know, I just won't talk to you.
Yeah.
I just won't talk to you.
Facts.
And it'll just be harder for me to say what I need to say versus keeping it in.
Hold up, I see you. Go, yeah, Fab, I'm with you. Yeah, we gonna talk about it until I can't talk about it no more.
We gonna talk about it?
Yeah, we gotta chop it up, yeah.
I don't like. I mean, now I can. Now I can. We have great talks. We have great deep sessions. We can really express our feelings. And I can really express my feelings to you now without having to be so... You know what I would feel? I'm going to be honest with you.
What's happening?
Hey, guys. On live. We just continued from the Francois Podcast.
I think Dadu just joined.
Yes. We're actually recording our episode right now, and we're talking about vulnerability. So, what I'm getting ready to talk to Monsieur Francois about is, you know what would make me so...
What's up, cousin?
Anxious? Me saying anything. If I'm feeling emotional, it would literally... I would feel like a heavy knot in my chest to talk to you about how I'm feeling. It would be so it would be not rage, but it would just be so tense that I want to just not talk to you. I want to move on. I don't want to say anything that I'm feeling because I don't want to have a fight about it. It would be that tough for me to express myself.
I don't. That whole not thing. That's the first time I'm hearing about that. But
no, you've heard it. You've heard about it before.
Like a physical
it would feel
feeling?
like a heavy anxiety feeling. I feel like I don't want to talk. Like, and then you'd be forcing me to talk, and I'd be like, leave me alone. And I said some hurtful things to you.
Hey, well, my only thing was like, my thing is like, yo, we gotta like, if we don't talk about this now, it's only gonna be just a reoccurring issue. So you're gonna feel this not every single time. You want to feel this all the time, or can we actually release and let this go? Like,
that's what I'm saying. I cannot release. Like, I didn't learn how to release.
Sayu was at it. What's up, Unc?
I never knew how to release.
But I mean, and that's what I guess I didn't understand that because I was just like, yo, why can't you just simply just say how you feel about what's going on?
I don't know. And you guys, you tell me. I don't know, and I don't think it's a foreign thing. Well, I can't say I don't know now. I know now. I just never released growing up. I never spoke my emotions. I never talked about my feelings. I never expressed myself. I don't know if it's a foreign thing, but I know for a fact that was not really expressed or seen in my environment as a kid growing up.
Okay.
So I can't blame it on that, but that's just how I was. I don't know if it's a foreigner thing. I know we have a lot of Caribbean folks who are who grew up in a household where it was either expressive or you didn't show emotion. Look, I didn't see my mother cry, but probably 3 or 4 times in my lifetime.
I ain't seen my father cry to this day.
Well, that's different. He's a man.
No, I mean, like, but I'm a man. If I'm vulnerable, like you're saying, like I didn't see a vulnerable man in my household like that.
Well, was your dad expressive? Was he emotional?
Well, no, yeah. Well, he would definitely express his feelings regardless of like, yeah. He always, every birthday, he was always writing like deep stuff in the card, and so that's why I do the same thing. Like if I give you a card,
my dad wouldn't write no deep stuff in the card.
No,
Happy birthday.
My father was like,
I love you.
Yeah.
Like
that's kind of like how that's how my mom's cards though. My mom was kind of like more.
For those of you who just joined, we're talking about vulnerability. If you guys have questions, thoughts, any suggestions or anything that you can relate to, feel free to chime in and give your 2 cents.
Actually, I'm lying. I did see my father cry once.
You saw your father cry once.
But both my parents, I didn't see them cry like that really coming up. But I mean, but they were expressive in regards to their feelings, or especially or how they specifically felt about us. Mm-hmm. So I did get that. Mm-hmm. So, so I can say that. So I know how to give what I was given.
Yeah, I wasn't giving that. Somebody wrote also, I feel you. I'm like that too. It's hard for me to let go.
Okay. I mean,
can you guys answer this? Is it a foreign thing? Is it a personality thing?
I don't know if we could just chalk it up to foreigners like that. Like, I think there's men out there, regular American men or American women that just don't want to deal with their feelings because it's just, people just don't like being in that vulnerable state.
I don't.
They feel like they're weak. They feel like
I don't.
It's not a good state to be in, so to speak, for some people. But I see past it. You know what I'm saying? I see where it's gonna get me. I see where it's gonna lead me to.
I don't.
I actually
do, but I also feel like, here's what I think. I feel like I'm going to not be happy afterwards.
Damn, I think I'm gonna be happy afterwards. That's the only reason why I do it.
No, I don't think so. I don't think
see
so.
How.
I think that I'm going to feel like I didn't get what I needed to get off. I'm going to feel like I wasn't understood, or I'm going live on the Francois Podcast on another device. Hey guys. All right. So that's what I was doing as I was speaking.
Hella devices out here.
Hella devices because the live ended on my phone. All right, sorry. Back to the topic. We have so many comments now. All right, let's read some comments. In the Haitian household, men typically don't show their emotion. They feel that they're paying for food, clothes, and you have in a room, etc. That's love. They don't think they have to say it. Our parents were not expressive, but you can change it for your own life. So should we switch? No, you can stay here. You can go to the Francois Podcast. It just malfunctioned earlier, so we're doing that again. We're doing it on the Francois Podcast. So, all right. So definitely join the Francois Podcast, Instagram, Insta Story Live, and chime in. Definitely join. Shell my bell 6:15, but stick to the Francois Podcast. All right. Actually, yeah, transfer over there. Just wanted to let you guys know where to go. And somebody else just said, girl, I never heard I love you from my dad. Boom. Well, I heard I love you from my dad, but I understand where that came from. Yeah, I heard I love you from my dad.
Just like what Rachel's saying here, like the whole like Haitian fathers, like the way they show their love is just in a different way. It's like they love through providing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
You know, there's food, there's clothes, you're living here rent free. What do you mean I don't love you? Like, what are you talking about? I'm working like an 18-hour day, like doing whatever. Like,
I have a great topic. I'm sorry, I have a great subtopic to this. Go ahead. Okay. Yes.
Go ahead.
That's true. They show their love through actions and what they could provide for you. Yeah, that's a foreigner mentality.
My father was real different. No, the funny thing is, like, my father was, according to my mom, like he was kind of off that. Yeah. Like when I was born. Yeah. But like she was on some like, nah, you about to take him to the park. Yeah. She steered him in the other direction. Yeah. So now he's the father that I've always known.
He's the one that's doing the stuff now. So he felt like it was enough that he got the bases covered.
I mean, well, yeah. I mean, he was young Haitian man in his early 30s with 2 boys. Like he just, But my mother said that she kind of, told him to do more and do certain things early on. So when I was like, by the time I was 7, 8, all that stuff, he was already doing those things. Yeah. So I don't recall my father being anything different. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, that's how he was.
My dad was, I was a daddy's girl.
So you are a daddy's girl.
I was a daddy's girl.
Oh, I'm about to say, I feel like you are. I feel like you are.
I'm not currently a daddy's girl right now. I think I'm a mommy's girl and a daddy's girl. So they both take advantage of me, I feel. And I take advantage of them.
Take advantage.
Okay. So I was always a dad's girl, and my dad definitely showed me love a lot. I heard I love you from him, so it wasn't like that. But I did feel like the mentality... I feel like the mentality was there, like, I'm taking care of you, you know that I love you, I'm with you, and, all of the, bases were covered. But I didn't care about whether they say I loved you or not, because I did feel it, and I did understand it as a young girl. Okay? What I really cared about, and you guys will tell me how you feel about this, is that they never expressed anything when they were wrong or said sorry. Okay. And I think that's a part of vulnerability where they didn't want to show that they were wrong, or they would felt like, well, I can't be wrong because I'm the parent, or, you're a child. What do you know? You don't have feelings. You know what I mean? Well, you can't be that upset about it. My
parents had a little bit of that in them too, but there were feelings with that. Mm-hmm. Like the whole, I'm the adult, you're the child. Mm-hmm. That was very prevalent growing up. But they still cared like how we felt and certain things and certain instances and stuff like that.
I don't think my parents really. Somebody said Haitians never say sorry. Haitian parents are ruthless. That's where I felt the hurt. That's where I felt the emotional breakdown because I was felt like I was wrong, and in the moment that you're wrong, you're not sorry about it.
Okay, I understand.
You're not.
So it's not
caring
fair.
about my feelings.
It's not fair. Okay.
And I'm so angry with you because you're not sorry about it. So that's where my vulnerability lies. So I felt like I just kind of like I felt really, I don't know. I guess kind of just straight away because I felt like nobody cared about my feelings. Maybe that's where it stems from, not being vulnerable with you. Because I'm like, do you really care about how I feel? Because if you really cared about how I feel, you wouldn't have done that. Or you wouldn't keep doing that. Or am I really going to tell you how I really feel? Because I don't know if you're really going to pay attention to them or not. Or are you really going to say sorry? Because you did that on purpose. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. But I don't know. I just feel like...
You reliving stuff right now.
I'm probably reliving the moments in my mind. But I think that's where I got the vulnerable... that's where I felt vulnerable, most vulnerable. Because I felt like you didn't really care. So maybe I just like...
Hold up, you say you ain't feel like I cared?
I don't know. Maybe it just
we thought. I mean,
that way. Nobody
was
cares.
lying,
Nobody cares.
or like.
No, not that you were lying, but maybe I was just afraid to open up to you because I don't know.
Or
Most of the time,
you
ever made me feel some type of way was when you did something wrong.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna confront you about it. I don't like arguing. Oh, I also didn't like seeing arguing. I didn't like fights.
Okay.
I didn't like yelling. I didn't like cursing. I still don't. So I felt like anytime we would have gotten to it, it would have been a big blow up.
Yeah, but I wasn't the type to do that or talk to you like that. So I knew that wasn't something I was worried about, like us blowing up. And we never fought like that then, and we don't fight like that to this day. So that wasn't even nowhere near like my radar.
I know, but
and I didn't think that'd be on yours as well when you got to know like who I really was and all that.
I know.
We're getting some. What Val say? Sometimes they say, sometimes they sorry, and when they do, it's not as fulfilling.
Why do you feel like it's not as fulfilling if they say sorry?
I mean, well,
maybe they're just
because it's like a
sorry.
Yeah, like a sorry you feel that way type thing. Like
sorry. Oh my goodness.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
do you guys think this is a real apology? I'm sorry that you feel that way. Sorry if I.
Right. Yeah.
Do you feel that's a real apology?
Nah.
Sorry if you feel that way is not a real apology?
Sorry that you feel that way?
The way that you just said it,
throwing it on.
Makes me laugh because it's like, yeah, that's not a real apology.
Nah, like I'm sorry that I did this. I'm sorry, like I'm genuinely sorry because what I said hurt you. Will you like please forgive me or something? But you gotta get raw with the apology. You know what I'm saying? That's how you gotta be. If you can't, so if I do something that really affected you, like to the core, and I come at you like, yo, I'm really sorry you took it like that, yo. Like, I'm throwing it on you because of how you took it.
I'm sorry that you took it that way.
Yeah, I'm sorry you feel that. I'm sorry you feel that way.
Somebody recently said that to me.
Like that's worse. That's actually that's worse than what you initially did for you to feel like that in the first place. Like for real. I'm like, bro, I don't want to hear that. Like miss me with that.
So that's what you would say. Miss me with that. Sorry.
If you apologize to me like that after you really hurt me for something, yeah, and you might get more than that.
Yeah, because you're brutal with your mouth.
Relax.
But you are. You have a sharp tongue. So yeah, I'm not gonna argue this one because he's better at.
She doesn't
going
get that.
there.
She doesn't get that.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't give it to me.
I'm talking about somebody that
when
really.
He goes in with whoever you're going in with. I just like, dang.
It really,
like, they deserve all of that.
That's strictly case by case. It really depends on what happened in the situation. Because people do things to hurt you out here intentionally. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, who would it? I'm human.
So, I'm sorry.
And so do you. You do too. You can't escape that.
I have a sharp tongue?
I'm saying, like, you know how you get. Like how you said earlier before this, when you like how you get when you back into a corner and all that. Like,
you know what?
Someone really...
It's not premeditated. Yours
Okay.
is.
No, hold up. It won't be premeditated. If I get it, no. I don't sit and think about all the stuff I'm about to say to somebody. No, that's strictly heat of passion, all off impulse. If you give me something like that's blatantly disrespected.
Sorry that you missed my point.
Yeah, sorry that you missed my point. Then I say, yeah, like that. Somebody, sorry, I'm sorry you missed my point.
What?
How you feel?
Just get up and leave. What?
Bro, like, nah.
Sorry, you missed my point. I missed your point.
What that was said. I'm sorry that.
I'm sorry that I hurt you. That's a good apology. Men don't know how to say sorry. Let's go eat. That's the sorry. That's pretty much what they say.
that do be some people's sorries though. Let's go eat.
I'm sorry that I offended you. That wasn't my intention. That's a good apology.
I mean, well, yeah.
I'm sorry that I offended you.
Yeah, because sometimes you'll say something that, like, if you didn't mean to intentionally offend somebody.
Yeah.
You can apologize for that. Some people won't apologize for that. If they didn't have like negative intentions, they won't apologize because it's like, well, I didn't mean to make you feel that way, so why should I apologize? Like, that wasn't
because you did make me feel that way.
Yeah, but since you did, you should apologize for it. I mean,
and they're like, well, that's how you took it.
That's whack.
You start cussing them out like, I just know you. You be so mean.
Hold on, what Val say? I meant is that as feeling to yourself. Sometimes we long an apology, closure with someone, and when it finally happens, it's not as satisfying.
Got it. Okay. So when you do get the sorry, it's no point. Like, I've already.
Oh yeah, like if you've like already moved on, it's kind of like, okay, yeah, that can happen.
Have you had that? If somebody that I moved on from came back to my life and said sorry.
I've never had that, but you can have that at any moment.
I could have that any moment. I have a couple of non-closure situations, and if they came back in my life and said sorry, I would forgive them.
Okay.
I don't think it would mean much to me because I no longer feel that pain or hurt.
Is it worth even like talking?
I know somebody who's in a situation where they actually had somebody who was in their life that meant something to them and is now reaching out to have some closure. And I don't think if that was my case, I would really care to have closure. But the fact that you have the courage to reach out because you realize that was a situation that you hurt me in and you want to apologize, I would forgive you. No. But I would not continue to have a relationship with you.
Me, I'm a little different. I might be a little more accepting, but it really depends on the situation. And I have to be really sure that
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Continue. I want you to lose your thought.
No, I was just saying that in regards to, like, if I had a friend that did me dirty and time has passed and they came back and apologized, well, I don't know. It depends on what happened and how much time passed.
If it was 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, we knocking on 10 years, bro. Like,
I forgot about you.
Like,
I don't
bro,
remember
like,
your name.
I'm tossing you. I'm tossing that away. But like, if you, I don't know. Let's say you had some kind of, I don't know. Let's say you had like a near death experience or something, or some kind of crazy revelation, or you came to God, whatever. I don't know what it is, and you come to me and you want to apologize. Okay, I'll accept the apology. In regards to like rebuilding the relationship, like as much as, and I love reconciliation, by the way. Like, I'm talking about from.
I don't.
I do. Like, I like reconciliation. But that's not the Christian thing. I like when people reconcile. I like when that we're back, people being back on good terms. I even like, bro. It could be some
closed door emoji.
Whatever. What are you saying? She over here interrupting my point.
I'm sorry.
I'm over here trying.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, let's relax. It's okay. It's okay. But anyway, no. Hold up. What's people saying?
See, this is why I didn't want to say anything. Go ahead.
What?
Somebody came back. Mm-hmm. You like reconciliation?
No, I'm just saying I love it. It could be like, I like reconciliation on all platforms, I guess. Like, it could be something like it could be a freaking I don't know, like a Rockefeller reunion. I'm gonna be happy as hell. I'm talking about if I see Jay, Dame, Biggs, Bleak, Siegel, Ochino and Sparks,
turn it back into a rap situation.
Petey Crack, and if I see all them guys on stage, I'm gonna be happy as hell. I just like reconciliation. Mm-hmm. Like, I think that's dope. Like, and personally, I think that's dope too. Like, if people come back and they're able to put the past behind them and they're able to move past whatever they did and now be in a really good place, and they're both genuine, like the person that apologized is really genuine, like, I think that's dope. Mm-hmm. Like, I think that's dope. And will I be able to do it? I think so, but it really depends. Really depends. So, depends on what's going on.
It depends on what's going on. That's what somebody just said.
Yeah.
Let's read the Facebook comments. If you guys don't know, we are live on Facebook as well, the Francois Podcast. But it seems like the IG Live is pretty lit. So if you are missing in action, definitely tune into our Francois Podcast live.
Rachel said we gotta get Kim and Foxy back on stage. That's a fact. That's Brooklyn all day. They both should be on stage.
Seriously.
But that beef probably like 20 years old.
You know
That's
who
crazy.
I thought though at first?
Who?
Takira App.
Rachel, any moment, just throw a comment in there. She said it. Any moment.
No, I really thought that's what she was talking about. Like, yeah, I love y'all. Like, come on, let's get it together. And then I realized
Any moment,
afterwards,
Chase. I'm waiting for the comment. Any moment.
What? That would be great.
No, yeah. I'm just waiting for the response.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah. So a comment on Facebook. I feel you like that too. It's hard for me not to let go. Somebody else said, not all Haitians are like that. And I'm assuming she meant about being vulnerable and showing and expressing your feelings. Noelle says, I think certain situations can make you more guarded over time.
That's true. That's true.
I feel like we should break the cycle. I think she meant the cycle. She wrote circle, but I think we should break the cycle. As in, our generation needs to break the cycle.
Yeah, I'm with that. I'm down. I'm down with breaking any type of generational curse, whatever you want to call it. But
like not a curse.
Well, not curse.
That's spiritual.
Yeah, I meant to say something else. Any whatever. Point is, like, whatever we just happen. There's certain things we just pass down, and cultures that don't really need to be passed down. Like you gotta look at the origin of where things started and understand why you following certain things in the first place. But whatever. But yeah. So when I have a son, I want to teach him to be like real with his feelings. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but be careful who you're giving your feelings to. I don't. Not for real. I wasn't just giving my feelings to everybody. I wasn't that kind of guy. It just was.
That's very true.
To certain people in particular, but
that is very true. Be careful who you give your feelings to.
Yeah, but I want to teach them to be open, like speak your mind, and we have to, just like be honest. Put your feelings out there. At times, you really feel like it's like necessary. You know what I'm saying? With the people you feel you really can
not 7
trust.
Years in like I did.
Yeah, that's what. It really took
7 years.
And a lot of money.
A lot of.
For
those who don't know what you're talking about, okay. So he feels like as soon as he put the ring on it, I was like a waterfall.
First of all, it's not what I feel like. That's what happened.
That's not what happened.
That's exactly what happened.
I wasn't as emotional.
Well, you said 6, 7. What happened after 6 years? You got engaged after 6 years.
It took me time to let my wall down.
Yeah, and the ring came up, the wall came down. That's what happened.
I think I was expressive to you. I was expressive. I was emotional.
Get this. How about the fact that she was actually pissed that I didn't propose on Christmas?
Are we going to talk about that?
Of 2016.
Are we going to talk about that?
So she just doesn't talk to me.
I wasn't.
Doesn't feel like talking to me.
I wasn't ready to talk about that.
The ring is coming. It's like not I'm going to say in the mail, but the ring is on its way. And she's over here pissed at me because I didn't propose.
So let's clarify that.
When she wanted me to propose to her.
Let's clarify that.
That's not wild to y'all?
Let's clarify that.
That's wild.
And we should all know that this one right here is whenever we say we're doing something, it's a go.
It's not how everything's supposed to work.
I understand that now. But I'm just saying at the time, okay? When we both agreed that we were going to get married and do what we wanted to do and take those necessary steps, I'm not waiting for you to pop the question. It should already be popped like tomorrow.
No.
Like, I understand that now, but I'm just saying the way that I operate.
It's not about how you operate. It's about how I operate. I'm the one doing it.
let's talk about the background context. I also had context from you saying years before that I was going to be your wife. Years before, I'm going to marry you. So I'm thinking, and I'm sorry, this is, hashtag growth. Back then, I'm thinking money is already there. You just waiting for me to say, let's go.
No.
And so
But I told you, listen, I didn't change anything.
Connecting. Because I feel as though you just have a hard time committing to when I say you do.
Committed to what?
I mean, you did commit. It just took some time. But I'm just saying, like, it's just like, I don't know. That's how my brain goes. It's like, okay, I'm going to do this. Tomorrow we have already started.
Nah, man. Listen, first of all, like, I'm all about the process. Like, it got to be done right. I'm not about to jump out the window.
No, but I'm thinking the ring is already there.
Nah,
because
when
we're
had
talking,
that,
we're looking at venues, we're looking at this, we're planning our lives together, all of that. I'm thinking, oh, okay, well,
no, well, you kind of listen. All we did was we had one discussion.
We had a couple discussions. We sat your parents down. I mean, if you really want to talk about it, let's talk about it.
No,
we sat your parents down.
Yeah, when we sat my parents down, that's when I started looking for the ring. Like, but before that, in August.
Okay, so we had time. You started looking for the ring before August. In December, on our anniversary, I'm thinking ring is meant to be,
Hold up, nah, I know Rachel feel me. Hey, let's get married. Blinks eye. Then he's on his knees.
Listen.
Yeah, I got a bill.
No,
Rach, you got me. You know the deal.
Before August, and then December. So that's a whole gap.
By the way,
that's a whole gap.
But let me ask you something. Y'all know this is an episode about vulnerability and being open with your feelings.
And I did talk
to you. I did
talk to you.
Yeah, that too. But you know how long it took her to get there.
It took 6 years. Okay.
So now I'm just going, like, the other year prior, she's like, I don't know. And now she's mad I just didn't jump out the window with a ring when, you feel me, you was just on the fence like the other day. And now just because we're having a discussion, you think I was just sitting on a ring for 4 years, just waiting and just waiting? I just need the people to
understand that this was not just a discussion. This is a...
Man, I'm never going to side with you on this. Just
all right, that's fine. We're gonna
be real.
No, this is what I'm trying to say to you.
What's up?
I shouldn't have... This is about to be one of those sorries.
What do you mean? Go ahead, say it.
I'm sorry that I pressured the situation. I'm sorry that I pressured the situation and I put pressure on you for us to be married or to be engaged when I wanted it to happen.
You're forgiven.
Thank you.
All right.
But I did say that before, right?
What?
That I apologize.
No, you did. And that's why you got the ring.
But I also...
Because if you didn't apologize, I was going to sit on that ring for like another year. And we would have got married. We would have just been getting married right now.
Yo!
We would have been coming back from St. Lucia yesterday.
Okay.
Nah, for real. Because this was my thing.
Oh, my God. Okay.
My thing is this. I just wanted her to respect my plan.
Can I finish
what I was getting ready to say? I had a plan. Like,
can I finish what I was getting ready to say?
Yes, go ahead, babe.
I'm sorry that I pressured you. I really am. I did feel bad.
Okay.
But I said it at the time before I got the ring.
You did.
But I also felt like knowing that I'm the go-getter that I am, you should have known that there was a time clock.
See, no.
Okay. Let me stop.
No.
No. Okay. Let me be real. Knowing who I am, I feel like, how could I say? If I were you, I would say, okay, well, we're looking at venues. We sat the parents down. This is what we're going to do. We're taking the necessary steps. I'm going to propose to her and then solidify it. That's just my thinking.
Okay.
Especially because you were like, okay, we're going to get married. We've been talking about marriage for a whole year now. So I'm thinking that ring is coming. You know what I mean? So if I were you, just knowing who I am, I mean, I'm not expecting you to just pop it when I feel like it, because I understand now that was really ridiculous and I was just in my feelings. But I do understand, I do feel like this is what we're talking about. Like, I feel like if we're talking about it, it's like put your money where your mouth is. That's where I was at with it. And I know you understand what I mean by that. You said that you did when I explained it.
My thing was like I was doing all of that, but you can't. But it's like
I'm not.
It was
Don't rush the process.
It was getting to the point where I felt like, yo, it's like I wanted to show you proof, but I'm like, yo, now you're gonna ruin the surprise. Just so I
understand,
could.
yeah.
So I had to just eat all of it. I had to eat all of that.
I understand.
So I was just sitting, just
waiting. But do you understand what I'm saying though? It's just kind of like we've been talking about this.
I do, but it's still hard for me to side with you on that because I think that when it comes to like proposing, I feel like that's kind of your
time.
That's me, and you have this natural overbearing nature sometimes, and you want to step in and move things. I move on my time. I gotta move this on my time. I gotta give you this ring when I feel like giving you the ring.
When you feel like it.
Like if not, it's gonna end up being like here. Like it would have been something like that, like a happy now type thing.
Can we be?
And
can we be real about the situation? If the ring came in on time, would you have proposed to me on our anniversary or Christmas?
If I would have got the ring sooner.
Yep.
On Christmas, most likely.
Okay, so we agreed that the timeline was valid.
Yeah, but
it was just that I was doing too much.
Yeah, you was doing too much.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it was like.
Well, here's the thing.
Valid how I felt.
Let me go back to that Christmas. Like that Christmas, I remember just being in a really good place.
Yeah.
With you that day, and I was like, if I was to have it, I'd do that. But the day after Christmas.
That's when I was upset. Yeah, I know. I get it. I'm just saying.
So
it was a valid time.
So if I did do it then.
You know what I mean? It was valid. Like, my feelings were valid. Who said who's petty? You petty?
You petty.
It was valid. How I felt was valid, babe. It wasn't like, yeah, I know I said tomorrow. I was just being, silly. But, like, we've been talking about this. There was conversations. We made necessary steps. So all we need is to just solidify it. So you would have proposed to me if you had the ring.
Yeah, I remember feeling that on Christmas. I remember feeling that on Christmas, yeah.
Not irrational. I was just doing too much.
Listen, to this day, I'm glad I stuck to my guns on that.
Negative. Why is that?
Men, listen up. Propose when you feel like it. Now, my mother always said, like, yo, no girl should be proposing to no guy. Like, she was talking about how women be waiting forever and forever. Like, I get all that. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I'm saying? But men, like, when if you got yourself a plan and you about to do what you're gonna do, and you come across somebody like this, that's gonna be, stepping on your toes. The plan is in motion.
That's separated.
Plan is in motion. That's all one plan.
Listen, the plan was in motion, and if it got there,
and you didn't know about it, that was the problem. You wanted to know things is moving, but you're not supposed to know nothing about that.
Not true. Don't tell people a lie. That's not true.
No. That would have if you would have had a hunch that things were moving, like you would have shut all of that down. In your head, nothing was moving, nothing was going on, so you was just pissed.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
What you mean? And you wanted to know that something was that the gears were being turned, that I'm taking the next step in the other direction, getting further and further and further with the ring process. Oh, I'm saving.
Not true.
Oh, come on, what are you talking about?
That's not true.
You wanted to know that was going down, but you still, I guess, kind of wanted to be surprised. But it's kind of you gotta just. I'm like, yo, just stay on your time, do what you gotta do, and then the ring just comes. Like, that's how I was trying to.
The ring was just late. You failed me. The ring was late.
The ring was on time, yo.
Oh, right. Did I want you to do it without the ring? Oh, you see how it wasn't even really about the ring? Like, I just wanted to be married to you.
Yeah, but I was trying to get
be married because I even told you. I'm
by
not
the way,
say it because I want the women to be mad at me.
What? What? How do you mean?
I want the ladies to be, and they feel like, girl, no, you should not. But see, this is why, this is the love that I had, Hey,
look, I was trying to go through the whole ring process. I want to do it with the ring. And check this out too, yo. Check this out too, because she, like, for years, she was always huge on. Yo, my ring got to be crazy. It got to be this much, all these diamonds, all that stuff for years. And now, out of nowhere, she just don't care about a ring.
Yeah, I didn't care.
I wasn't buying it.
Married.
I
wasn't buying it?
No.
Oh, so maybe that's the problem.
Because, like, now you got this crazy ring, and you're crazy about it.
Yeah, I mean,
and I knew you would be.
I would have waited for this one. I just want to be married to you.
Oh, well, I mean, I guess that's sweet and all that, but I'm like, yo. My thing was like I had a whole.
That doesn't matter.
No, I'm saying like I had a whole plan. Like my plan was I wanted to go about it the traditional way.
Okay.
It just took time.
Okay.
But this was my timeline to break it down. It was.
Your
I started looking
timeline
at.
was Christmas.
I started looking at rings in October, and then I had it solidified by November. December, since I had to get a special order for these fingers, like it took a little minute.
Which that was not even needed.
My bad.
No, it wasn't your bad. It was my bad.
Anybody see your finger, huh?
No, because I told you it was a size that it really wasn't.
Well, yeah, that's another thing. She told me
that's why the ring was late.
She told me her fingers was like size 20 or
size.
something crazy. You gave me the wrong size, so the ring was late all because it was her fault. Like if I got her natural ring size, I think was in the store.
Yes, he was ready. That's what
like I was at Zell's, like
ready. Like he was ready. So I pressured it, but you was ready. Bro.
No, I was ready to get the ring. I was just like, in regards to like giving, I wanted to do it right. I had to. The moment got to be right. It got to feel right. It's about a feeling. If I'm not feeling it, I'm not doing it. It got to be done. It got to be done the right way. That's it.
That's why, ladies and gentlemen.
No, that's what's up.
Anyway, somebody said Haitian women are strong-minded and can sometimes be impatient. Facts. Team too much are we. Sorry, blame it on my Haitian culture. Listen, we don't wait around. We like when we want to do it, it gets done. Like I'm not about to wait and have all these conversations with you. Like let's put the pedal to the metal. Like let's go.
Yeah, bro. I ain't with that. I mean, I'm that.
You
That that's
it was just late.
That's a good mentality to have in life.
It
like
was just late.
Forward thinking, just moving quick, all that stuff. Some things take time. That process for me, personally, that's how I would have done it for anybody. If I was to get married to anybody. Like, I want to take my time and do this the right way. I got to go about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I actually, when I was younger, I saw myself being married. She didn't. All right? So I was like, shout out to you, bro. But now, I saw myself, like, I knew how I wanted to go about it. So I wanted to stick with that. And, I wasn't trying to have you mess that up, because if you would have messed that up, it would have been a disservice to both of us.
I understand that.
Like,
yes,
but I ain't gonna lie, it took me a while to get over that. I'm probably still not over that.
Really?
Well,
I'm sorry.
No, I am. But when I sit and think about it, I'm just like,
I
thought
really
to
am
myself,
sorry.
nah, it's cool, baby, it's good. You don't gotta apologize for that. We done. That was done. But I was just like, like she really give me a hard time. I'm like, I got a whole ring coming, and she not making me want to get this to her. I was like, so if I would have got it, like, let's say I would have got the ring like January 1st, I'd have just sat on it. I just held it like, all right, you get the ring when you act right. You know what I'm saying? You get the ring when you start acting right. But then, that's how God worked, y'all. She called me. For real. God gave you that ring, not me. She called me. It was like, it was a Sunday, I remember. And she was like, I just want to say, I don't know. She was like, I just want to apologize for like how I was and how I was feeling. I mean, how I responded to the whole situation, all that stuff. And she was like, she was just apologizing for the whole thing. And I was like, what? I'm like, that was nice. I was like, I appreciate that. That was sweet. That was perfect timing.
That's not what you said.
What I said? You remember? What I said?
He was like, baby, I'm so glad that you said that, because I felt like you started to resent
I said that for real?
the situation. Like, I don't even want to propose anymore. She's ruining the moment. So I felt
No. I never. Listen, here's the thing. Like,
I know you wanted to, but
my thing was just, it was all about just win. Like, so, but it actually worked out because that was 2016, our 60th anniversary. We was trying to do a photo shoot, and it didn't work out that day because she wanted to go to the mall and get like makeup done at some store.
When did you want to do this?
What the?
Okay. Yes.
I'm talking about when we were supposed to do the photo shoot. Remember?
Right.
We were supposed to do the photo shoot at the end of that year, and she went to the mall, she went to get like makeup for the photo shoot. Ended up taking like 5-6 hours or something crazy. Like I could have went to Boston and back, and she still didn't get her
This Jimmy,
face
I'm here.
done.
Hey,
Crazy.
Jimmy.
But Jim, what up? But now it took forever, so we had to reschedule. So what I did was I just kind of, then we went through all of that, all that nonsense, all that drama, and then when she called and apologized, that's when I was like, all right, I'm gonna just reschedule the photo shoot for February.
January.
February.
January, and I've told you to push it back.
No. I got the ring in February.
Oh,
I got
I'm
I got the
sorry.
no, I remember
I'm sorry,
I got the
don't mean to
ring.
hijack your
I got the
story.
ring the day of the Super Bowl. I'll never forget it.
Okay.
Got the day of the Super Bowl, and I think the Pats won too, so it was a good day. So I got it.
Fella. I keep getting distracted.
Hold up.
Let me
I'm
be
glad
mesmerized.
to see Black Love
No,
at its
continue.
finest. Look, I'm Kyrie. I'm glad to see Black Love at its finest instead of the crap they show on TV. Word, bro. But nah, what's the name? Yeah, so I rescheduled the photo shoot. So I wanted to have it the first weekend of February because I had just got that ring, or the second weekend. And then you said, nah, you want me to push it back like 2 weeks or whatever. And then that's when I did it. Had a photo shoot, what was that, February 25th? Something like that. Yeah, 25th. And
then we never looked back since.
Yeah, got engaged, and it's been on and running ever since.
We still need to actually take other photos. Well, we have wedding photos. That's okay. All right, I guess we kind of went on a segue there. We got into sorry.
But that's still with the topic of
story time.
Yeah.
It is a topic because I did show vulnerability there
when
I didn't get my ring. But someone actually made this comment. No, it's not Haitian women. It's women trying to figure out what's happening so we aren't time and know what our next move will be. So we take our time. That's the Will Shelley. He's taking too long to tell the story.
I was.
Okay.
I thought I was.
Take the Will.
I thought I was doing a good job. I thought I was doing a good job.
By the way, we all was on our best behavior in Boston. Thank you, Ish, for confirming. That's awesome.
We definitely was, though. That's a fact.
But I trust you, husband. So, but you know what? Your boy's gonna tell. I don't know if I trust. No shade, but he probably is. One of the homies that's like, I'm not gonna tell it all.
So vulnerability. She's getting off topic.
Vulnerability. We talked about it all. We answered questions.
Yep, all that.
We talked about vulnerability in the marriage. We talked about is it weakness? Vulnerability. We could also talk about this last part. When it comes to death, when it comes to going through a hard time, this past 24 hours now, we heard about this tragic death to one of our
24. She just said the magic number 24. Man, that was Kobe's number,
yeah. So he's one of our
still sick off this,
fallen heroes, and
I'm sick off this. Yeah, I was salty all day. I'm not even gonna front like I'm like this huge basketball fan or a huge Laker fan. I never really had a team, but if you watch the sport at all, you knew that Kobe was a great, like a true great and a legend, and just one of the best to ever do it. And I don't know, it's just a sad situation. It's not just because of who he is, but I don't know. That just happened to make it hurt more, and then his daughter being in there too. It was just anyway. So I've been on this type of time since. So I was at work today, kind of out of it, and trying to just tell my people how much they mean to me and tell them I love them as much as I can. On my way home, I called my father, called both my sisters, and just I ain't get a chance to call my mother and my brother yet. But I mean, I'll probably hit them up before the night is over. But just I think that's one thing we can take away from this. Unfortunately, we can't step in when it's our time to go. We can't, there's nothing we can do about that. We can't avoid our fate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's just that's just up to God, and that's it. But the only thing we could do is just learn from others,
right? And
just don't take your peoples for granted.
It's true.
At all. And so just you never know. Like we underestimate the blessing of just making it home every day. You know what I'm saying? Like I pray every day before I leave the house, but I don't really pray when I'm on my way home.
Right.
That's what I did today.
Right.
That I did that differently today. I'm like, I gotta talk to God on the way to and from.
Yeah.
Because it's a blessing just to make it home. You know what I'm saying? Whether you have a 5-minute drive or an hour and 5-minute drive.
Yeah.
You feel me? So that's where my mind has been at all day. But if anything positive is gonna come out of this, it's just me just appreciating my time and my family and my loved ones more.
Yeah, I
So
remember when you were texting me, you were kind of like, "I love you, babe, and I'm gonna spend more
yeah,
time
cause
with
like,
you." And
cause of this past weekends I've been real busy, and I
yeah,
got more busy weekends coming up.
right.
You know, in February and March. So, but I wanna and while I do have this schedule, I
Mm-hmm.
gotta make time for the things that's really important.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just quality time with my wife and then brothers, sisters, other
Yeah.
family, all that stuff. So that's really important. So
Makes sense.
I'm not gonna lose sight of that just because I have obligations. I don't think
Right.
none of us should. So.
Right. Yeah. I don't deal with. Do I deal with death well? Do I? I was just saying earlier. I don't really deal with death the way a normal person deals with death. I don't really show that much emotion. I don't post about it really. I don't talk about it. I'm not really in tune with my emotions. I don't tap into my emotions when it comes to death. So, how do we deal with that?
Hey man,
You do.
I do, but I
You're
gotta.
sad.
I let God step in because I'm not strong enough. So that's my answer for that. But then again, I'll be honest with you. I've actually, I don't know, if I can knock on wood, but God forbid, but I haven't lost anybody like that close to me yet.
Okay.
You know, so I honestly don't know how I'll deal with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've definitely lost family members and definitely went through that pain, but
Yeah.
never dealt with that. I never dealt with that, so I don't know. I don't know how I don't know how I'll react to that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll suppress it. I don't know if I'll bug out. I don't know, and I honestly don't want to know. But I mean, but it is what it is. Yeah. So.
I don't think I've lost anybody in my immediate circle or family, but I did lose someone that was like the heart of the family.
Mhm.
So I don't want to say that. I take that back. That was somebody that I lost that was in my immediate family that affected us all very recently. And
Mhm.
I didn't. That's another thing. I guess I'm still learning how to tap into my emotions and how to express my emotions.
But you dealt with that like you. I mean, like you let your emotions out. You had a good cry out there.
At
like,
the funeral.
yeah.
But it didn't hit me until.
That's when it hit you. It hit you when you got there, and that's what happens with a lot of people. It's like when you actually see the person. Like when my father lost his great uncle, I wasn't close with my great uncle, but I was probably the most sad at that funeral because of how it affected my father, as opposed to him being gone. I was sad that he was gone. I was sad that I didn't have a relationship with him because he's basically my grandfather, since he's the guy that raised my father.
Right.
But what hurt me more was his son's eulogy and then my father's eulogy.
Okay.
And seeing my father like on the verge of tears and all that kind of messed me up. So that's what made me sad the most.
Right.
But you know, man, it's a part of life, man.
I don't
what
get
it is.
sad until I'm there when there's a lot of sadness. So I get confused if it's my real emotions or is it because of my surroundings?
Okay.
I don't know if it's just me feeling that, oh my gosh, it's just a very bad vibe, or if it's me feeling my real emotions. Because if I feel like it's really sad and I do cry, do I feel like that when I get home? Does it affect me? Does it touch me? Does it make me want to cry when I get home?
I don't really think you like think about it.
Okay.
I think you're so used to like naturally disconnecting.
Yep.
So you do that
Very true.
with that as well.
Very
and
true.
then when it comes to the actual like viewing and all that stuff, that's when it's like that's when it gets real to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So and then at that point you're like forced to deal.
Yeah.
Because now it's in front of you, it's in your face, and you're watching everybody around you deal with it.
Right.
And you're not about to be like the odd one out in that situation.
Right.
So, so it'd be like that sometimes. But
Right.
anyway, it's a tragic situation.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It
and
just,
his daughter.
I think that's what made it hurt the
Yeah.
most. Like, cause like you would never want to put if Kobe knew that there was anything like the slightest thing wrong with the helicopter, he would have never had his child on the, like, you know what or anybody would have. You know, what I'm saying? Nobody would have done
You
that.
wouldn't have been on the.
No, he wouldn't. Of course not.
But you know
like,
what I feel like,
like,
and I'm just gonna tap into spirituality. I feel like you never know when somebody's gonna go. You never know when it's gonna happen. And God just allowed it to happen. And I think that, and I don't want to say this to offend anyone, but I feel like God has a plan always. And it just so happened to happen that way. But there's a reason for everything. Is that insensitive to say? I don't want to sound insensitive.
It's not. It's not.
Just
it's
like,
not insensitive. I mean, it's like there's always a reason for everything. It's just like why? Like that's the only thing. I'm just like why, and then why that way?
I don't know if we're ever gonna know why. I don't know if we're ever gonna find the answer until we get to that place. But I don't know. I don't know. And I don't want to say this. But that's why I don't feel emotional. I just don't. But I do look at it that way too.
I mean,
I don't feel like
when Nipsey passed, I remember Charlamagne said, "Yo, it made him question his own mortality. Like, yo, why am I even here? Like, how come that just wasn't me? How come that didn't happen to me? How come that happened to him? All that stuff." And you get to having those thoughts. I was like, yo, what that happened to him for? Like, how come? I mean, I don't know. It's like it just makes you. It just shows that you're just not in control of nothing. And when you having to deal with that reality, can it could be stressful sometimes. But yeah, that's why you really gotta just make your time like on this earth matter. Like you gotta enjoy it, you gotta live it up, and you gotta spend time with your family, tell them you love them at every chance you get, like every single chance you get, and just I don't know, like so you're just not looking back with a lot of regrets if you lose somebody, I don't know. This made me think that nothing's really that serious. Like I don't know. Like
life isn't that serious?
No, not life. I'm talking about like think about any disdain you have for somebody, any kind of argument you have with anybody. It's like, yo, man, pick up the phone, patch it up. Like do that like now. Like do that ASAP. If that person's gone, like you gonna feel terrible. Like it just made me. It got me thinking like that. Like if I had that personally, I'd have picked up the phone. Like the way I was feeling yesterday. If I had any kind of emotions like I was harboring or any ill will I had in my heart towards somebody, I'd have picked up the phone like, yo, bro, is it really that serious? Like, what we doing?
You know what I want to ask?
What's up?
Because just the other day I was having a talk with my girlfriend, and when you said that, you felt sadness for someone you knew, and he was very important to our generation, really. And you felt sad. I didn't. But I noticed that in a lot of situations that I don't really feel. Is it wrong for a person or another person not to feel? Is it wrong
it's
for
not
them
wrong.
not to be
You're not in control of your feelings.
Okay.
Like, I mean, you're not wrong for not being sad. Were you sad when Nipsey Hussle died?
No, I thought it was a sad situation, but I didn't feel.
But you didn't feel that.
I didn't feel like you felt. Like you felt
how did you
sad all day. You weren't really talking to me. You were like kind of like short, like one word with me, and it was just like.
Because I was. I mean, but all right. But how did you feel when Whitney Houston died?
I felt sad, but I didn't like. I don't know. I didn't.
That was somebody you followed, somebody you were a fan of.
Yeah.
Like,
so I guess it makes sense for me to be sad.
Yeah, like you felt the same way when Michael Jackson died. Like, didn't you? Ain't that hit you hard too?
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
but I didn't.
These were.
But I didn't feel.
Well, it didn't affect you to the point where, like, your day to day was
like
different.
I was in mourning. I wasn't in mourning.
Okay.
I wasn't in mourning.
I'm gonna say I'm really
with my own family member until we were at the funeral.
Well, I mean, I guess so, but I mean, I don't know. I guess when you just get to think about it, it's like, yeah, I'm never going. Like, I don't know. It just death is just a hard thing for me. Like, it's just like it don't matter. Like, even if I hear about somebody I know that lost or whatever, that's just sad to me. Like I never, no matter, like I have a bunch of people on Facebook I don't talk to. on a reg. But if somebody passed, I automatically contact them. Yo, man, I'm praying for you. And I actually pray for them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel affected by that.
Oh, yeah, I do that. I pray for people.
Yeah. Like, and it could be somebody I ain't speak to in like 10, 15 years. But if they
and
lost somebody, I will.
keeping you in your prayers, I would legit
when
keep
Nipsey
them in my
Hussle
prayers.
died, I prayed for them.
We have people who don't keep
I prayed for Kobe and his family this morning. Like, it's real stuff. You gotta.
We did pray for
you gotta.
them,
You can't talk about it. You gotta be about it. But I really do. But I really do feel affected. I felt affected by that. And like I said, I'm not. I wasn't like a huge Laker fan or even a huge basketball fan for that matter. But it's Kobe Bryant, man. Like he's a legend. Like we know Kobe. I remember watching the 09 finals and him getting that ring. Like you know what I'm saying, and then beating Boston the year after. I think that was the year after, right? Yeah, like just stuff like that. He was just that's a champion, like one of the hardest workers ever in the game. Like, and just the way he died, it was just sad
Tragic,
stuff.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it is what it is.
Yeah. So, in a nutshell, with everything, he's vulnerable. I'm not.
She gonna get there though.
I'm gonna get there. Maybe
I'm not saying
if I
like
have children. Maybe you got some. Okay, got you. I got you, boo. I'm gonna get there if I have children. Maybe. I don't know though. Maybe I'm just that type of person. That's just my personality. Yeah.
Yeah, it could just be who you are.
Could just be who I am. I think I'm just a tough cookie with everything. And I think it just really has to hit depending on the situation. It hasn't been that case for me just yet. All right. So, guys, we talked about marriage. We talked about death. We talked about everything. Is there anything that you guys have questions on that we can talk and tap into regarding vulnerability? Go. Any thoughts? Any questions for me?
Do I have any thoughts for you?
Yeah.
Nope.
No,
I'm good.
No.
Leave that to the people.
I got a question for you guys.
It said kids turn you into a sucker. So basically, we're gonna be soft. I know I'm gonna be soft. I'm
already a sucker for my nieces.
Yeah. So it's gonna.
So I might just be like a ball of emotions when it comes to my own children.
I just know. I already know I'm gonna be like wild defensive. I know that for a fact. I'm gonna be very defensive.
You're defensive now.
Yeah, so I know when I have like my own kids, like what? Like
okay.
I know, yeah. They're not gonna be able to do wrong in my eyes, I feel.
Okay.
Especially if I have a girl. I don't know why that is, but I don't know.
Okay. All right. I have a question for you guys. You know our story. Well, if you were here the whole time, you would have known the story. So we touched on me being actually letting my wall fall down after 6 years. If you were in a relationship with a mate after 6 years, well, would you wait that long, actually? How long would it be for you to stick around until the person either lets their wall down or never lets their wall? What's the time limit for you? Is that a good question?
I guess, but that kind of implies like I was just kind of just looking at my watch like, all right, man, so another year went by. It wasn't really like that. It wasn't. Because it was kind of like, what's all this for? What'd you do all this for? Like, you get all sad all of a sudden.
I'm so annoyed.
Why you annoyed with me?
What you doing all of this for?
No, I mean, not like that. I mean, yeah, I'll take the hug. I was just saying, like, what I was saying, you made
see how he does me now?
You made
I should put the wall back up.
Chill, relax. Nah, take it down. Take it down.
To me.
What I was saying was, because you made a sad face.
And then you started hugging. As you were explaining, like another year.
No, but I was, no. But didn't you hear what I was saying? I was saying you acted like it was like that, but it wasn't like that. I wasn't like, yo, my God, damn, I need another year. And it's been another year. Shit. It wasn't necessarily like I was enjoying you throughout the relationship. Okay. But there was just
a disconnect.
There was times that we was disconnected here, and I was wondering where it was gonna fit. I was wondering when we was officially gonna be on the same page. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it just happened after 6 years. Mm-hmm. But I wasn't just, you know what I'm saying, like just waiting around, just like, you feel me? Just looking at my watch like, yo, man.
Waiting for
one
you to
day,
make a
man.
move. Waiting for me to make a move.
Yeah, like it was, you know what I'm saying? It was.
All right. Well, I'm glad you waited. Thank you, Mr. Patience.
Hey, man.
All right. If there's no
Gotta do what I
questions,
gotta do.
we're going to get to the verse of the week. So the verse of the week is coming from
Where's my
Psalm
phone?
55.
You ain't pulling the. Hold up.
I'm
Oh
reading
nah,
from
I
the
forgot. I
King
forgot. I
James
forgot.
Bible.
I forgot we going live. I'm with the Bible app. That's how I normally get it done. She a little back in the day, so she pulled out the whole like 2,000-pound hardcover.
I'm just not even going to address that comment. Psalm 55. Everybody turn to your page.
My bad. I'm just throwing some shots.
Yeah, as always. So I'm
Light
just going to choose
shots.
not to address it.
Light shots. You feel me?
All right. 22 and 23.
Okay.
Okay. Cast thy burden upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. But thou, O God, shalt bring them down into the pit of destruction, bloody, and deceitful men shall not live out half their days, but I will trust in thee.
I started getting aggressive. I was like, I wasn't ready for that part.
I want to speak to the cast thy burden upon the Lord. And I just felt like that spoke to...
Well, actually, what I said earlier, because I said I'm not even strong enough to deal with death and none of that stuff. Like, I gotta toss that up.
Yeah.
I toss that right up to God, because I don't really know how to... I don't know. I don't really know. I wouldn't really know how to accept it that well.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a burden I got to cast on God 100%. I can't hold a bit of that. You know what I'm saying?
And even just having this emotional roller coaster or with me not being able to tap deep into my feelings, just let it all be on God. Just give it to him all. You know,
Right.
Anything that's really hindering you or affecting you or anything that you may be dealing with, just put it all on him. And
Right.
he will take care of it for you. He'll be your defender. He'll be your guide. And not to worry about dealing too deep into the emotions state of it. I mean, we should go through, and we are emotional with it when we are going through, but we should always lean on him.
Facts.
Yeah.
All facts.
Do you have any thoughts about that, Monsieur Francois?
I'm good. We've been...
Additional topics, thoughts?
Nah, we good. We've been talking to these people for a good time.
Here we go.
I said a good time, a good time.
Here we go, a good time. All right.
We might have to do this again. This was all right.
How do you guys feel about it? Say your thoughts. Did you like the live edition?
Hit us up, yo.
Questions, comments, suggestions.
Whenever y'all want to.
This is us being vulnerable.
Y'all
Thought it
following.
was fitting for tonight.
Or y'all following the page. Y'all let us know what's up with y'all.
Let us know how you feel.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you ready to do the benediction?
Let's get it.
Father God, bless Sebastien and Claushelle. Bless the listeners. May they be at peace, find joy, and always seek you first. Thank you for this opportunity once again to glorify you. In Jesus' name, amen.
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 Y'all finally first got a sneak peek of the visual Francois podcast. This won't be the last. We're going to go back to the... This won't be the last. We're going to go back to the... We're going to continue to do the audio and all that, but just know that, get used to seeing us like this in the near future. You feel me? Just a sneak peek of what's to come.
Trust in the Lord. Loved it. Thank you. And thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, appreciate y'all. Anybody that tuned in,
share with your
watched,
family, friends.
whether you signed in, signed off, left a comment, ain't leave a comment, whatever you did.
If you liked it,
Salute.
subscribe, follow.
Yeah, all the good stuff. So
Have a good
first
night.
time.
Have a safe week.
Yep.
And we'll see you next time.
Peace, y'all. And prayers up to the Bryant family and everybody that was on the helicopter. Y'all make sure to keep them in your prayers too, but literally keep them in your prayers before y'all sleep tonight. Signing out. Peace.
Signing off. Later.